sorry. You know, it's the first time I'm speaking up about all of this after a few months.
Fiji's Minister for Women, Lynda Tabuya, was sacked from her ministry in December after an explicit video of her was shared without her knowledge or consent. Police are investigating how the video came to be circulated online.
The moral brigade is out in full force, and the third person is her. Not the person who's sharing, but her.
That is her choice. The sharing of it is who we should have targeted. Who took the video, who shared it to a public platform. That is who we're supposed to be targeting.
Our reporter Lynda Tabuya met with Ms Tabuya in the halls of Parliament.
I was just dismissed, and very, very abruptly, without much explanation. And so, you know, it was like I felt I was being punished twice.
The Fijian government hasn't responded to questions regarding her dismissal. Ms Tabuya was also the victim of relentless cyberbullying and harassment after the incident.
I think women are targeted 10 times more online than men. We continue to perpetuate the patriarchy and the discrimination online which existed offline. So when it happened, there was shame, you know, betrayal. I think there was betrayal because what I thought was a personal, private moment was now out there for the public.
Can you take us back to when you first found out that there were images and videos of you circulating?
It was Christmas Eve, and I had received an email from the Honourable Prime Minister addressing the issue with me, and basically asking me, why I should remain as a minister and as a member of Parliament and as a member of our party. And so I gave my explanation. I pleaded, and my first point was that this is a crime that has been committed. I knew it was intentional. I knew it was basically done to destroy my character and reputation as a member of Parliament and as a minister and as a person in authority. Because of all the vilification and the vitriol, I will admit it's affected my ability for some time to be able to speak freely, to be able to speak up on issues. I have found myself in the first month where I was steering clear away from issues to do with similar situations.
What do you have to say to people who say that you embarrassed the Parliament or the Cabinet, that you brought disrepute to these institutions?
I just have to say to them that they must be able to put the embarrassment aside and recognize that a crime has been committed. I mean, it's like blaming a victim of rape. The law is clear. You circulate an image, intimate image of a person without their consent, you have committed a crime. I have met victims who have turned up to the police, but what they are doing is that they are simply requesting for the content to be taken down. But they're not taking the next step to report it and to file a complaint because of the shame that would come with public exposure of the issue. So they just want the content taken down and they just want to go away and live their life. So there is, because of the public vilification, because of the public shaming, it has absolutely discouraged victims to report this to the police and to bring perpetrators to justice. So we have done a huge disservice. We've done a huge injustice by not acknowledging this as a crime and normalizing it.
How do you think Fijian culture treats women in power?
as an Itoke woman. You know, it's part of my identity. I love it. I love my culture. I think for us, tradition has its place, but it cannot be what defines us in our daily living. There are certain things that persist in our culture and tradition that I believe is harmful, and that does include the practice or the accepted norm that men speak and women don't speak, or men decide and women do. Yeah, I think our traditional setting and our culture it permeates every aspect of our lives here in Fiji. You know, there's resistance to progress in what they term as Western ways of living, when in fact it's just you've become more global in your thinking. You become part of a global family rather than just confined to your culture and tradition. Unless there is a conscious effort to address this in our culture, it will continue.
Can you share how this has been difficult for you on a personal level?
Attacks like this and, you know, violence against a woman of this nature literally halts you in your track. I tell you what, my strength has come from my children, especially my daughters. They have actually gone out and spoken against cyberbullying with my picture, and they have circulated it and they have shared it, and they say to anyone who talks to them about me that it is not right. I have to see this through there, because they look to me to be able to speak up for others who go through this. Sorry. You know, it's the first time I'm speaking up about all of this after a few months. That alone, you know, is an indication of how the effect of what has happened. I will continue to serve even those who've criticized me, even those who have vilified me. I will continue to serve if they ever needed me.